Fashion today is no longer just about clothing. It has become stage, performance, film, installation, and above all, storytelling. When we think of fashion shows, we often think first of silhouettes, fabrics, and trends. Yet what truly stays in our memory is rarely the garment itself. It is the space, the light, the atmosphere, and most of all, color. Color is the first thing we perceive and the last thing we forget. It operates before we understand what we are seeing. It determines whether a space feels cold or intimate, whether a scene appears threatening or poetic. In runway shows, color is therefore not merely design, it is a dramaturgical tool. It structures perception, generates emotion, and makes fashion readable in the first place. This analysis does not focus on fashion as object, but on what surrounds it. Architecture, light, scenography, the emotional framework that allows collections to be interpreted at all. This becomes especially evident in recent shows at Paris Fashion Week, where the runway often functions like a film set, as an immersive, narrative space. The runway is no longer simply used, it tells a story. In Mami Kuroguchi's show, the runway becomes a space of memory. Everything is immersed in pale, almost white tones. The space feels soft, unbounded, as if dissolving into light. Here, color is not used for dramatization, but for dematerialization. The white does not feel empty, but like a faded photograph, an emotional place between presence and absence. The lighting is diffuse and shadowless, without strong contrasts. Color exists only in nuances, in subtle transitions between warmth and coolness. The space does not tell through events, but through atmosphere. Color stands for fragility, impermanence, and remembrance. Tom Ford chooses the opposite. His runway becomes an orchestration of night. Deep black and dark blue erase architecture and audience alike. The space loses its physical form and turns into a projection surface for light. Color emerges primarily through absence. Darkness creates intimacy, tension, and desire. Only through focused spotlights are individual figures cut out of the black, like cinematic close-ups. When color appears, it functions as an event, a visual shock. The space operates like a noir film set, secretive, voyeuristic, emotionally charged. Here, color is not background but accent. With Rick Owens, darkness becomes not a scene, but a condition. Fog, monochrome tones, and diffuse light dissolve the space entirely. Black and gray are not presented as clear colors, but as atmospheric density. Architecture disappears, perspective collapses. Figures emerge and vanish again, like apparitions. The movement of the models resembles a procession. Color here functions not aesthetically, but spiritually, as a symbol of transformation, seriousness, and inner experience. The runway becomes a threshold between visibility and invisibility. Valentino uses color as total saturation. The runway is staged as a reconstructed bathroom, completely immersed in intense red. There is no neutral point, no visual escape. Architecture, bodies, and movement are swallowed by color. Red is no longer an accent, but an environment. In terms of storytelling, red stands for overexposure, for intimacy, corporeality, vulnerability, but also for aggression and danger. The private becomes public, the everyday becomes dramatic. Here, color tells the entire story. Red itself is the narrator. The runway show by Maureen Serre is no longer a traditional space of presentation, but a short film with several acts. The scenes are composed in a filmic way and invite interpretation and tension rather than simple consumption of clothing. In this way, the film shifts the narration of fashion toward visual storytelling, where space, color, and movement do not merely display garments, but communicate a story. The models appear as an anonymous community in an exhausted, post-apocalyptic world. There are no individual characters, no emotions, no clear goals, only bodies moving slowly and ritualistically through an undefined space. The film tells of a humanity after crisis, ecological, political, or technological, and presents fashion as a kind of armor and identity in this new world. The narrative is carried by color. The visual world is extremely reduced. Black and gray dominate. Black stands for emptiness, disorientation, and a lack of future. The deeply blue-tinted scenes express an inner state, coldness, distance, and isolation. The few red accents function like disruptions. They evoke blood, injury, or energy, and rebellion. They are the only moments in which something like emotion or vitality becomes visible. Here, color is not merely an aesthetic device, but the central element of storytelling. These examples show that color in contemporary runway shows is no longer decoration. It is narration. It creates worlds, identities, and atmospheres. It can soothe, seduce, transform, shock, or estrange. Color makes fashion memorable. It gives brands their visual language, and it turns the runway into something greater than fashion, an emotional space in which stories emerge, stories we do not only see, but feel.